Nobody else.
Believe it or not, there's a point in time when creatives and freelancers weren't taken seriously in Jamaica. But as time has passed, a lot more focus has been placed in the industry. So let's talk to a few creatives who have been making their mark in the industry. Photographers Akeem Hode and Adrian Smith, purple shirt, grey shirt, Mario Allen, and marketing and digital content creator, our very own Joel Nandarkam. Gentlemen, morning.
Morning.
All right, so the creative industry, as we've spoken about, hasn't been taken seriously in the past. What do you think has changed now in 2019?
I think a part of the change is definitely the fact that creatives are more serious now. They've seen where international standards, people who are freelancers, influencers, etc., take them craft seriously, and as such, kind of stop undervaluing their services. There was a video being circulated the other day with somebody, a cook, and I'm sure say, you know, I'm cooking this, which means I'm cooking nothing, in comparison to the fact that, but yeah, ask me for the free work, you know. True. And I think a part of the concept is that they are a lot more serious now. They're taking their craft seriously. They're putting price tags to the services that they're doing, and as such, companies are a little bit more careful with what they might do and what they're offering. So I think that's something that has changed. They might tighten up now on them, you know, even contracts and stuff like that. So that's really something that I think is commendable.
Yeah, you just saw a clip there from Mario's Lone Wolf. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
as we saw the clip, Lone Wolf, and I assume you're the Lone.
Why would you make that assumption?
What's that been like?
Well, I mean, for creatives now, I feel like it's a much easier seeing that we have the internet and there's more access to learn more. So a lot more persons are becoming inspired to become filmmakers. Because back then, when you see movies, nobody believes that I can make a movie or I can actually try. So seeing that we can use our phones, social media, anybody can be a filmmaker, anybody can be a creative. You just have to have an idea and you just start.
Okay, so how do you price your art? That's what I'd like to do, and I'd like to start with Adrian. How do you price your art? Because it is art, and them say you can't put a price on art, right?
Right. For me personally, I think it's how you value your work. And in terms of pricing, there are, for me personally, I normally speak to those persons who are more advanced in the industry. You know, I get a price base as to what it is, and then I go from there. And then back to the beginning, you have to value yourself and value your worth. So therefore, with that being said, what I do is I use, each time that I improve my quality or improve my gears, then what I do, I put on and do something extra on it.
Because you have to pay for those gears.
Right, we have to pay for it, and it's not cheap.
Leo, how do you? Same question.
I would say it's similar to that. You know, there's a market out there, and you're not just paying for someone to take your pictures.
Right.
You're paying for our living expenses. You have to also expense. So we travel, we breathe, we eat as well, just like everybody else. So it's also that we also ensure that you pay for your quality. You can't just expect that, okay, can't come $3,000 and we're going to give you this. But you expect that when we come to you and we say, all right, this is $4,000, we're going to show you quality that is worth your $4,000, that you're going to say, hey, this is really worth it. I'll pay for it.
Yeah. Over the years, piracy has pulled millions from content creators, from creatives. Even now, I showed you something earlier. How do creatives protect themselves and protect their craft, protect their product against piracy?
You know, it's funny that you just showed me that a while ago, because for those who might not have been on Twitter or whatever, you'd have seen that Kimisha made that tweet. Kimisha is like she uses Twitter a lot in terms of sharing messages and stuff, and Shelly won a race and she made a specific tweet that was so... Kimisha she uses the English language very well.
Wordsmith.
So, you know, she has that expertise, and apparently Fontana Pharmacy has the same thing displayed with the same messaging there and stuff like that, and that would probably raise some question in terms of, all right, then you might, sometimes as a creative, I use this as an example because sometimes you might not think seriously about what you do, because a lot of times you guys realize that even the social media creatives, they will put out a piece of content and then it catapults in like a second.
Yeah.
One of my friends did one the other day talking about Spice, and in no time, you never expect Spice to retweet the video that he did, and that added about 5,000.
That was so funny. I followed him just because of that video.
And he got like about 5,000 followers based off that, which would have, put him in a better light and things. So sometimes you're not thinking about the extent to which your content might go. I think it's very important as creatives become more seriously in terms of even protecting their money and pricing themselves correctly, that they think about those. There are certain, institutions in place. The copyright, Jamaica have some copyright going on, and it's important for them to educate themselves on what exactly those things take, so that whenever you put out anything, whether it is that you're thinking about it performing well or you're just putting it up because you just feel like you want to put out something nice, you think about that part of it, because people are out there taking your work and presenting it as their own, no matter how small. Can we just tweet something?
Yeah.
Should I get that 300 grand for that?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually sitting with 5 creatives, not 4. Because yourself, Sakina, as an actress, how do you I mean, sometimes I forget when she sits next to me that she's an awesome actress. But how do you, as a creative, protect yourself, protect your brand and what you do?
Well, my first step in protecting myself was getting a manager. I think as creatives, a lot of us like to focus on the work. Yeah. And so, because our minds are like, oh, I want to take pictures, I want to be this, I want to let out all of this kind of information out of myself that it's bursting out my ears. But at the same time, you can't cheat yourself, because this is how you... Wait! I want to get that. At the same time, we have to eat.
Yes.
So, because I'm not good with asking people for my money, I've been taken advantage of a lot by a lot of advertising agencies and so on and so forth. You go and you get, can I have my pay please? And 6 months down the line you can't get it. So I have a big shot manager, big of myself, Nadine Rollins, Raw Management, whoop whoop, who like she have no problem asking people for money. So once I've done work, what she has done a lot of the times is made sure that, hey, before I host something, before I go and do this ad, a 50% deposit has been made. So if them decide to mess with you and you decide to walk off of the set because they're not treating you like how you're supposed to be treated, you already have safeguarded a certain amount of money. So management, I think that's like very important.
Yeah, so the structure now of the different industries, the photography, filmmaking, fashion, how do we now get everything in place so the younger ones coming up to understand what they'll need to do? So we'll start with the Lone Wolf team.
In terms of looking for the youth, I mean, we're young. We're young, basically young, 24 years of age. We've been doing this for a long time. We've come through the ranks, and we didn't really have much guidance from other persons. You went to Hart, and he went to Hart. I did my photography, but we basically started out with our phone, so we didn't have anybody to say, hey, this is how you do it. But at the end of the day, it's something that we enjoy doing, and if you enjoy doing it, I would say give it a shot. Yeah. There's YouTube now. You can search any video. You can go on YouTube. You can search our films. You can search anyone you like.
Would you guys be open to people coming to you and asking you these questions, though? Because we never had people who were like, do this, try this, help out with this. What about us giving back to those people who had the chance?
It's critical for that to happen, because, one of my things with creatives is that I always tell people, being a creative in Jamaica is not the same as being a creative in the States, because you have to have things to supplement and complement what you're doing. You can't just say, all right, then I'm a photographer, unless you're big and you make money.
Right.
That's different. For me, I work full-time in marketing, and as you guys know, I was doing television and everything along that line, and what I try to do is, yes, I love the creatives in terms of that, but I really marketing pay my bills.
Yeah.
And as such, that complement allows me to live my life by being maintained with my full-time, but also loving what I do with media. Yeah. So, it's very important for us to do that. And anybody come to me and tell me, oh, I want to start one business, oh, I want to do this and do that and whatever. Within the creative space, I tell them, all right then, what do you have to set back on? Should that not line up the way you want it to?
Adrian, would you take on apprentices?
Oh, yeah, sure, definitely. For me personally, I do have a full-time job as well.
Yeah.
So I work with Hart Trust as a guidance counselor, Hart College of Innovation and Technology in Montego Bay. So that is what offsets some of the time. Because if I was supposed to depend on photography alone, it wouldn't make it.
3 months down the line,
but it's actually growing to a point now
where it will grow.
Right, where I can say I can do it full time.
Right.
Well, can I add to that as well?
Yeah.
Well, for me, I have been doing filmmaking for like 4 years. So at first, I started off with a phone, because I'm from Mandeville, where there's no media, there's no knowledge of filmmaking. So I used YouTube and learned how to film movies with an iPhone.
Oy.
And I shot music videos and I shot weddings with an iPhone 4.
Wow.
And, you know, back then, I didn't have anybody to talk to or, you know, give me advice or how to get in the field. So what I did was practice, shoot those little videos for like $1,000 Jamaican, $1,500. Take my time, buy one light, take my time, buy this, buy that, and then you kind of grow. Because for me, I didn't really follow the process. I focused on the content.
Yeah.
So eventually, when my content started growing, the value started growing as well.
Right.
So in the future now, fast forward, everybody wants Lone Wolf to film something for them.
Yes, and that's where we have to leave it for this morning. But guess what, guys? It's been a really nice conversation. Thank you for including me in the conversation. I appreciate it. But don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. That's what we would tell anybody else out there. Don't give up. There's always a way out. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Keep going, but have something to fall back on.
So much more to talk about with this topic, because I want to ask you about government and getting into
Lord,
oh gosh.
But photographers too, Akeem, Adrian, Mario, and we know Joel. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
We'll continue the conversation another time, but Christmas is around the corner.
Yay!
We're giving your space a facelift when we get back from the break.
They're going to give me that coach. I feel it.
They're not giving you the coach.